Here.
Mr. Graziano.
Here.
Ms. Guamman.
Here.
Mr. Guyan.
Here.
Mr. Pizzi.
Here.
Mr. Zangari.
Here.
Mr. Jimenez and Mr. Leon are not present. Mr. Herod.
Here.
Mr. Marinello.
Here.
We would stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine notice, please.
The meeting has been advertised according to the Sunshine Law.
Thank you. Communications. Just as a reminder to the board, Thursday, June 18th at 6 p.m. will be member training. I have no comments. Approval of minutes. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Chairwoman Alvarado.
Yes.
Mr. Venera.
Yes.
Mr. Banda.
Yes.
Mr. Giordano.
Yes.
Mr. Graziano.
Yes.
Ms. Gorman.
Yes.
Mr. Guyan.
Yes.
Mr. Pizzi.
Yes.
Mr. Zangari.
Yes.
Okay, approved, all in favor.
There are no bill lists for this meeting. Resolutions to be memorialized. We'll start with PB 2602 Iona LLC, which is 11 Franklin.
At this time, both of them will be held in July.
Okay. And there will be no further notice?
No, those are just going to get carried. I was explaining to Corinne, unfortunately, my secretary's mother is knocking on heaven's door, and it's been a rough week at the office getting a few things out the door, so just asked it to be carried to July, and we'll have them ready for you then.
All business, request for extension through September 12th, 2027, which is PB 2024-09, AD Properties, which is 4648 Franklin Avenue.
Franklin Street.
It's Franklin Street, it's on Avenue.
It's Franklin Street.
The revised does reflect street, and that it's not a 6-story, it's a 4-story. I think we may have a representative for that application.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. My name is Matthew Gilson from the law firm of Schilling Wilkes. I appeared before you about 2 years ago on this application. In that time, my client's been pursuing his outside approvals, which took more time than expected, and he's in the process of obtaining financing. So we asked for a 1-year extension and gave him this one.
You need a whole year?
Typically, the way that the mechanism of the statute works is that it's 2 years with 1-year extensions, so that's why we asked for the 1-year extension.
That is fairly typical that we come in and ask for a 1-year extension, especially when it deals with things such as getting approvals from other government agencies, which neither they nor us have the ability to control the timing of.
Is there any variances on this? Is there any variances on our conditions in the beginning?
I don't have that resolution here with me.
Just permitted.
It's permitted use. I know that we're making a payment into the parking fund, I believe $140,000 to make up for the parking shortfall. There were some other minor variances that we related to set.
How many parking spaces are short?
Short, there's 25 units and 18 parking spaces. So I believe we needed 25.
7?
It's all one bedroom.
7?
Yeah, I believe it's 7. I believe it's
Plus the
25.
store? You might be right, plus the store. Maybe it was 10? I think we can't, I think we changed the ordinance, so it's only 4 now, believe it or not.
Yeah, at first it wasn't any number, you can just...
That was the one that last, so now things have changed, so I don't, that's part of what this is, so that does create a situation.
As far as the building, nothing's been done there. No site work's been done, nothing.
Yeah, as I explained, we had some troubles obtaining the outside approvals.
Well, you even say there's nothing with more financial.
Well, it's
That's
both.
the case.
It's both. It's a combination of it took a long time to get the outside approvals, and now it's taking time to get the financing as well. I think if we hadn't had the issue with the outside approvals, we probably would have been ready to finance it.
Do you have any paperwork to prove that you've been working on that?
I can get it from my client.
You would think you would think your client would be here.
He was not available for the meeting.
It's not that really that important to him then.
I'm just looking at the resolution right now.
And you figure within this 1-year extension, you will be able to get rolling?
I would think well within the 1-year extension, just as I said under the municipal land use law, it's typically a 1-year extension.
And what if you didn't? Would you come back and ask for another year? Would this just be going on perpetuity, just keep going and going?
So
and going?
under the municipal land use law, we're entitled to ask for up to 3 1-year extensions. I'm not saying we would, but that's what the law restricts. But it's our intention to commence construction within a 1-year extension.
So if for some reason it was granted, can we put conditions that if it's not in a year, even started, that, you know, it just terminates? Because here, sitting on a planning board for a long time, Belleville is always on the back end
Yeah.
in getting things done because of these reasons, and we need to change that. We need to change that story. We need to, if we agree, my personal opinion, on things to get done, to bring revenue in, and to do the right thing for the town, then it should be a mutual respect in getting things done. Not just getting the approvals, then going for it, then going for it, and then going for it, and Belleville's always on the back end, not getting anything. So, you know, I don't know the law, I'm asking.
Well, they're entitled to come back and ask for another extension. That doesn't mean you have to grant it.
Gotcha. Can't be a condition of if it wasn't granted.
Boards that I represent have made it a condition of approval that this would be the final extension granted, but the law is what the law is, and I haven't had that tested in court, so I don't know exactly what would happen if someone went to court and said that the municipal land use law allows additional extensions, and the board prevented us from getting them. But I have seen boards make a motion that say it'll be granted for the 1 year, and there'll be no further extensions granted, so that at least then the owner is on notice as to what the board's position is going to be when they come knocking on the door again.
That's my
We would agree to that stipulation.
Just know if the ordinance did change, so if we don't grant this, or if he doesn't do it in that amount of time, he will lose the approvals to do this project.
Understood.
And whenever he comes back with, in order to be in compliance, he would need less units.
Understood.
What's the board's pleasure?
You want to put the condition on?
Personally, I don't like giving extensions. I think we've had enough time. And I think this should have been carried out, at least some site work or something. Nothing's been done. I think they should go over, I think they should come back and reapply.
Well, he did say that they did have some paperwork from the funding agencies.
I get that from my client.
If you want to condition it based on the fact that our little subcommittee approves of that, the fact that that does exist, we can do it based on that maybe. Proof that they've been doing something, basically.
I'm just not keen on granting extensions. The board can do what they want, but I'm not really keen on that.
Just an option.
Okay. Any other comments or?
You said there was a financing issue and also other permits, I believe, or?
Yeah, so
other
we needed approvals from certain outside agencies, the county and certain city agencies as well.
Have you received those approvals from the county and
At this time, we have gotten those approvals.
when were those approvals received?
I would have to get the documentation, I believe approximately 6 months ago, and since then we've been diligently pursuing the financing.
Listen, if they could show some proof that they've been doing that, I'd be okay with it. If they can't show the proof, then I'm kind of aware.
Can we put a condition with, asking if they could show the proof that the financing is in the works?
Sure.
Any other comments? No? So we have a motion made with the condition of
they should submit copies of all the outside agency approvals they got for our files.
Yeah, we got, okay. Yeah, this is part of our instruction.
So the condition that they show proof that they have been working to secure financing and proof that they have received their outside approvals. And if all the outside approvals are already found, that you have them all already, then that is no longer a reason for delay. So he's making a representation that they have all the approvals. So if they were to come back at some later date and say, well, we didn't have this approval, we have his representation on the record that they already have secured them all, so.
Do we have an understanding of that?
Yes.
And then we want to put a condition on, if it's not, if that's all there and they've not done in a year, then
Not done in a year, I believe he said that they will start.
start the year, right, I'm sorry, start the year, then we just go
And
ahead.
this will be your only extension, you
Understood.
wouldn't approve another one.
You make any comments? No
Not yet.
comments? Okay.
Well, I'm not sure who's making the motion, so we should make that clear for the record, so.
I will make the motion.
So it's gonna be a motion to grant the extension so long as they get started within the year, and that this would be the final extension, and that it's also conditioned on them showing proof that they are have been working diligently on their financing, and that they show proof of outside agency approval.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call?
You make any comments on this?
This is not an application, so it really wouldn't have
It's a
council.
continuation of an application.
No, it's not. The application's finished. But I would just want to add, so a resolution for this would typically be written. So at the next meeting, I would have had prepared a resolution. I think it might be a good idea to have as part of this, since the attorney's here already, that proof on those two items be submitted prior to the resolution being approved by the board.
I agree with that.
Board thing? Okay, so just make sure you reach out and
Yep.
submit it.
All right, then roll call?
Chairwoman Alvarado.
Yes.
Mr. Venero.
Yes.
Mr. Handel.
Yes,
Mr. Giordano.
Take no part.
Mr. Graziano.
No.
Ms. Guaman.
Yes.
Mr. Guyan.
No.
Mr. Pizzi.
Yes.
Mr. Zangari.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's the first one.
Right, okay, applications before the board. Tonight we have PB 2026-05, the Marwah Academy, which is 94 Bridge Street. Are you ready?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Come up front.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the participants here, members of the council. My name is Paul Buono, B-U-O-N-O, the law firm Cook, Bennett & Roth.
There's a lot of people here tonight. I need quiet for our recording. She needs to get everything down. Everyone will be able to say what they want to say at the appropriate time. So please, raise your hand, just don't interrupt and interject, because that just confuses her. And she needs to do her job. All right, go ahead, continue, please.
Paul Buono, B-U-O-N-O, from the law firm Cook, Bennett & Buono, on behalf of the applicant, Marwah Academy, with the approvals of the current owner as well. We're here for an application today to get approvals for a parochial school. It is permitted use in the zone, which is a RV zone. Permitted uses include single-family dwellings, two-family dwellings, three-family dwellings, schools, and duplexes for lots that are less than 45 feet, residential buildings, so on and so forth. But again, this school is a permitted use. We have several bulk variances that need to be met due to pre-existing conditions. This is a existing Knights of Columbus that has currently some setback deficiencies, rear yard deficiencies, side yard, as laid out by your town engineer. These again are all pre-existing conditions that we are seeking relief on based on the fact that there's no alteration to the building, there's no expansion, there's nothing being done to the exterior that really we can't do. There's impervious lot coverage that kind of prohibits some additional landscaping that my client's going to be testifying about. But there is a strong growing need for this kind of school. There's going to be testimony by my client that is showing that they have an existing school in Harrison. They keep it down to a small and limited enrollment. There's no impact on the neighborhood. We're going to have our architect take us through, obviously, what they're going to be doing to the building, trying to keep it up to code, or bring it up to code, making it safer, enhancing, obviously, what's existing there in order to better the community, as well as serve the growing need as far as delivering this kind of school. It meets the state's requirements for the Common Core values and Common Core standards for English, math, science, and social studies. But yes, there's a religious component, but they have very limited teachings in that area as far as these classes per day. We're going to have testimony that's going to show staggered drop-offs between the students. There's carpooling that's currently underway, and there's going to be, again, a traffic engineer who's going to explain how this is not going to impact any sort of movement among that area in the community. They're going to have, again, testimony with carefully planned drop-off and pickups. Again, the enrollment is going to be limited, and essentially this is going to be, I heard somebody explain before, this is a tight-knit community. That's what they want to do. They want to be a part of this community. They want to enhance this building. They want to improve it, and again, provide a need to the people that they're going to serve as far as teachings and be a part of that community, which they're going to help grow. They're going to limit their enrollment in order to, again, make sure that there's no impact that would be different from what's existing, which is, again, is this assembly hall. We have, I think, members of the existing Knights of Columbus who own this property. This was probably historically used between weddings, anywhere between 100 and 200 people, which couldn't meet the parking requirements then, approximately 25 to 50 spaces. We're going to have limited faculty, limited students, and it's not going to be a major impact on the community. So we're going to have some of the architects I'm going to ask to be Mr. Ali to come up right now, at least to describe what's going to be done to the interior of the property.
We have to,
Yeah, I'm going to have.
Right.
So please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and business address for the record.
Ali Qureshi. Qureshi is spelled as Qureshi. And I live at 61 Hollowbrook Road, Galifon, New Jersey.
Where was it?
Galifon,
Oh, okay.
07830.
Okay, before you start, I'm going to move over a little.
No problem.
You don't have the microphone, so.
Mr. Barlow, this is a architect?
Correct.
Okay, why don't we, when she's ready, why don't you start by giving us a little overview?
Okay.
Make sure the light's on.
It is.
Turn it off when you don't want it.
Mr. Qureshi, can you give us a little bit about your history, your curriculum for the board?
Yes, I'm a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey since 1993, and I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in architecture from University of Idaho.
And you've appeared before boards and testified before boards?
Yes, I did, in front of several boards in New Jersey.
Okay. Again, you were practicing, just for the record, how long, 1990?
1993.
1993. And your credentials allow you to testify before these boards?
Yes, my license is in good standing, and I was accepted as an expert professional professional in every board I went to.
If there's no other questions, I'd like to qualify him as our expert in architecture.
Fully accepted.
Thank you.
Mr. Gresh, can you describe the layout, the interior layout of the proposed school here?
Okay, so basically it's an existing building, around 5,500 and change square feet. So we are not adding anything or subtracting anything from this building. We're keeping almost everything exactly the same. Obviously, it's going to be renovated from inside and outside for all the finishing materials like floors, walls, ceilings, lights. And it will be brought up to the code for plumbing, egress requirements, electrical, and also any other department we need to get the approval from. Right now we have 5 exits, which are more than enough. We only need 2. We have enough bathrooms. So the only thing we are doing here is there are 2 big open areas. So in this big open areas, we are making some temporary partitions. They may be like bookshelves or something to create these 4 classrooms. And each classroom will have 10 students in it.
And is this the direct result of your communication with the proposed owner as far as what the classroom sizes are going to be, as far as their limited enrollment and your design based on that size classroom?
Yes, so it's based on their requirements. Even though it can handle a lot more people, but that's what they're planning to do. They will testify that how many students they have right now, but they will go up to 40 maximum.
As far as the Knights of Columbus, if it was as it stands, what is approximately the capacity that a building like that could withstand without seating in classrooms?
Well, it can easily handle up to 150 people. But we are only seeking 40 students plus 6 staff members.
I'm sorry, can you just place on the, like, an easel? Yeah. So
yeah.
that way the camera can
There you go,
the
Jack.
audience can see it. Just, yeah, there.
You got Jack?
Furthermore, there won't be any cooking, no other business except for the school, no other activity. And the building will be brought up to its original glory by renovating
It's going to meet,
exterior.
is it going to meet building code compliance?
Yes, it will.
Is it going to have certain safety upgrades on it as well?
Yes, it will have all kind of exit signs, emergency lights, number of egresses, and plus directional signs.
As far as the multi-purpose room, is there anything being done with that? Is that existing bar going to be dismantled and that's going to be opened up a little bit?
Yes, so basically the whole building, other than classrooms, they will serve the same students. So multi-purpose room can be for their gatherings, or it can be used for play area during recess. So basically this whole building will be occupied by these 40 students and 6 staff members.
Is this the best design that was able to come up with based on the current contours of the building and its existing layout between what the projected use is going to be?
Yes, it is. It was assembly use building. It was used for this kind of activity, so it suits perfectly well for school.
Was there anything able to be done in the layout regarding any of the bulk variances that are needed regarding rear yard setback, side yard setback, and so on and so forth?
Well, unfortunately, the existing building has a number of non-conformities. they cannot be fixed unless we knock the whole building down and make it smaller to comply with the setbacks and the coverages.
Is this due to the contours of the property, the narrowness, it's not a straight rectangular property line, it's got a little bit of a flag property on it?
Yes, and if we have to comply with it, the project will not be feasible financially.
I have no further questions for Mr. Fresh.
I have a quick one. I've heard 60 students and I heard 40 students.
40,
It's going to be
40, yeah, maximum.
6 faculty, and then
Right.
40 students.
So it's not 60 kids. What would the age groups be?
I think maybe, are you gonna have a?
We're gonna have, yes, the imam,
Yeah,
answer,
so-
field the question.
yeah.
Is,
We're gonna ask like questions about, how they're gonna practically operate the school to the gentleman who's operating the school.
My last question
Tommy has one,
will be, why temporary walls?
Well, it will be much easier to do it. They don't want to put too much money into the construction. It will work very well. They will divide it with bookcases to minimize the cost at this point.
Tom?
Yes, from a fire safety standpoint, is there, I don't know, I haven't been in the building a long time, fire sprinklers, that would have to come up to code, Brian? Or fire?
Yeah, usually in the change of use, they're gonna have to do stuff like that. That's a UCC requirement, so.
Is that all part and parcel in this document, in these plans?
Well, if the code requires it, we will be happy to provide it. That, once we go for the, if this application is approved, then we go through the whole process of running it by the fire department and the other departments.
Okay, and then the same thing with security and cameras and everybody and the police having access to all of that, as we require on all of our buildings, it's a request.
Yes, it will, yes. So we will comply with all the requirements from different departments.
And is it to the best of your knowledge that the sprinklers aren't required because it's not a change in use, it's permitted use?
Yes, so it's existing building.
Wait a minute.
You're saying,
You're changing it into a school. It wasn't a school.
Right, but it's a permitted use is what I'm saying. It's not a use variance application that we're seeking. It's permitted use
Yeah.
under the code.
Yeah, it is a change of use though, in terms of us and in terms of UCC.
so you would have to upgrade.
Right, what I'm saying is they're gonna meet any requirements that are necessary. Is that true?
Yes, so we will meet all the requirements. If sprinklers are required, then we will definitely provide it.
Does anyone else have? Jen?
First off, why weren't we presented this blueprint? I saw nothing like this blueprint in our packet. I would love to have seen this before you brought it to our attention on the day of the planning board meeting. Can anyone answer that?
I'm just finding out that that is true, let's start with the fact that we should mark this then, if that was not previously submitted.
Yeah, I thought this was submitted. This was part of our application.
We'll mark this as A1.
I don't know, did anyone else receive it?
No,
No.
you're correct. This should be marked as an exhibit.
Second, you said there's no kitchen facilities or anything like that in there, so none of that activity will be going on. Now, you have a multi-purpose room where you want to dedicate towards studies and, you said, recreation. I have a problem with them having, there's no dedicated recreation room for them. There's nothing outside for them, and you have something that you want to double and mix. I think kids should have some type of recreation room or space in any type of school.
Will this
And an
area,
outdoor one.
sorry, will this area, at least, what's the square footage of this?
It's around 1,000 square foot.
Approximately, and then can that be used as far as some sort of, physical activity or, recreation for the children?
Yes.
Mr. Polano, can I ask a question? I know typically in these applications for schools, especially for the private schools, the school is usually required to come and make sure that they have proper zoning approval before they go to the Department of Education to get the proper approval from them to have a school. That's the process you're anticipating here with this
Correct.
application?
Correct.
So eventually, this school would have to go get the approval from the Department of Education. And things like the concern you have, Lawrence, about the spacing for the kids and whether it has appropriate recreational space and such are things that the Department of Education would definitely take an interest in during the course of their review.
Right.
So just to let you know, it may not be something that, this space as we see it works, but the Department of Education will make sure that they have whatever they're required to have. And, I don't know what the requirement is, but whatever it is.
I just wanted to make sure and put that on the record,
Right.
that there should be some type of dedicated recreation
Right.
space.
Any other questions? I will close this portion and open up to the public. Mr. Sheldon? Any questions would be based on the building?
On the architect's testimony, right?
Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. First question, in the legal notice for this application, it said that the school would be dealing with students grades K through 8. So if I, without doing any advanced calculus, if I count that correctly, that's 9 grade levels, K through 8.
Correct.
So 9 grade levels, 4 classrooms, square peg, round hole. How do you plan to run the school effectively if you've got 9 different grade levels and only 4 makeshift classrooms?
Regarding the building, we have another applicant who can answer that question.
Well, right now, we have 4 classrooms, and I guess he's going to elaborate later on.
I'll wait for that testimony and then come back with this. So you said 40 students, 6 staff members. I wanted to make sure I had those numbers. And as far as recreation space is concerned, just for the record, in this room right now are 3 former Belleville Board of Education trustees, Mr. Marwah, Mr. Graziano, and myself. From what I recall, and I can't swear with 100% certainty, but I believe state law requires that any school have both dedicated interior and exterior recreation space. And I'll do that search in a few moments to confirm with state statutes, but I believe that is mandated. And I know Mr. Marinello said that, well, this is going to have to undergo review by the state DOE before final approval is given, but I think you have to have dedicated recreation space, both indoors and outdoors.
All right, point taken, just the building.
All right, well, just to confirm, you have no outdoor, my question here, you have no outdoor recreation space at all for this project? There's no outdoor recreation space?
Right, that is correct, yes.
All right. And the indoor recreation space, if I understand the testimony so far, is going to be just the removal of those makeshift partition walls and then opening up the outdoor area?
There's this big 1,000 square foot room that can be used.
Isn't that currently the bar or a kitchen area for the Knights of Columbus?
It is a bar.
It is a bar?
Yes.
No kitchen, there's no kitchen facilities in that area?
There is a small kitchen, but we're not going to use it.
You're not going to use it? So is it going to be eliminated, the bar and the kitchen going to be ripped out
Yes.
altogether? All right, that'll be it for the moment. Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the public? And that would be strictly on the building.
Yes. Kevin Lillo, 83 Bridge Street. I have a copy here of all the non-conformings, right? I see that the minimum lot width is not met, the minimum front yard is not met, the minimum rear yard is not met.
That's not really.
That's not a question for this person.
Okay.
Do you have a question for him?
You'll have an opportunity later to summarize and question as.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is all the interior of the building and the design?
Well, you can
Yes.
ask a question about the exterior of the building if he has something to say about it, but
Okay, so what about the parking situation? Do you have?
there's going to be a parking,
Are
there's going to be
you
a
involved
parking.
in the design of the parking situation?
Well, the site engineer will testify.
Okay. He's gonna be next. Thank you.
Are there any questions for me outside of the building?
I have one. You were saying there was 60...
Wait, sir, come up,
You have to give us your name, so.
give us your
First
name.
name Gerard, last name Salernitano, 79 Bridge Street. 60 people.
40
With
students and 6 staff.
2 bathrooms.
No, there are a bunch of bathrooms here.
Or there's more than 2 bathrooms?
Yes.
Well, you start one, but how many bathrooms?
5 bathrooms. So it does comply with the plumbing code.
Okay.
Actually, it's much more than
You're
what's...
taking out the kitchen, but these kids don't eat, or they don't have lunch?
Well, they're not gonna cook anything on the facility.
So lunch is going to be brought in?
Probably, but the owner will answer that question.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions about the building?
I'm sorry. So to get back to our attorney's question, or my question, but what you said about the building or approvals, once you go in front of, whatever happens here, if you went in front of the state and they came back to say you conform, all of these changes that have to happen, bathroom sizes, ADH, playground, blah, 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 does all of that space shrink? You know what I mean? Because we're seeing something here what's now. It's not after the fact. So, you know what I mean? Does that room with the dividing walls come smaller? Is it 10 kids? Does it get cramped? Does it open up? Because a lot of changes have to, I gotta believe, a lot of changes have to happen inside to be compliant with the state regulations from the Board of Education.
Correct.
I mean, this, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, it's putting the cart before the horse. I'm trying to put this in my head to see it all.
I understand that, Tom, I get that. In fact, many times when I've had these things with schools, I feel exactly the same way. However, that is the way the system works with the Department of Education. You have to first show that you have permission from the town to place a school there before you can then go and have them review your facility.
Okay, so I'm gonna just point out, so like when we had pre-K or daycare come up in front of us not too long ago, there's a list that daycare had to get approved by the state first before coming to us. Like Mr. Sheldon said, they had to have an outside playground, an inside playground. They had a checklist before they even came to us. It doesn't work that way for this? How come something like that for pre-K it has to be that way, but for this it's not? I'm not questioning you on that.
Smaller children. Smaller children.
Daycare is different than a school, but
You have,
also...
but you have pre-K is what you're saying?
No.
Oh, no? I thought you said, oh, kindergarten.
K to 8.
Sorry, okay, thank you.
I just want to be clear on something. There's 4 classrooms, 9 grades. How does that work?
Not a great separation of age groups, I guess. That's what it sounds like.
They said testimony's coming from someone else.
Yeah, there's going to be the operator of the school.
And also on the inside of the building, there's no permanent walls, no separation for classrooms? It's all open?
These are all going to be compliant with their,
It's like a little
with their requirements that have been
schoolhouse?
met through prior DCA approvals that they've received.
Any other questions? We'll close this portion and just about the building.
Right, the inside of the building,
Okay.
the outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit the 307 trailer and... The outside, you plan on putting the playground in the back outside? Yes?
He's not our site engineer, so we're going to have somebody else testify to that.
What about the parking, would go to him too? Okay, so the school, I see the 4 classrooms, I guess they're gonna be on the bottom?
Yes.
What are the age groups then?
Well, the owner will testify. The owner will explain
We'll have some testimony as far as
How-
how that layout works out with the students and the curriculum.
All right, thank you. Any other?
With the classrooms and the partition walls, are there any other planned uses for it? Like, is this done so we can increase the class sizes if we have to?
No.
So why would they?
I'll have some testimony regarding that, but the idea is not to have any increase over 40 students.
Okay. Any other about the building? I'm going to close this portion Continue.
Chair, I just want, before we continue, can we let the record reflect that the architectural plan is Exhibit A1?
Yes. And I would ask the architect, if maybe working through Mr. Bono's office, if you could make sure that that is submitted to us so that we have a copy that can be distributed to everyone.
Actually, 20 copies went out from my office, but I don't
You
know.
don't know where they went? That happens in my office too.
Oh, we can always push the meeting. Yes.
I'm Robert Buzzard, 8740 Place Road. So this is just an existing condition drawing?
Yes, because
There's no concept or schematic?
No, that is the proposed drawing.
proposed, existing is also proposed. So there's no change in the layout.
Other than a bar removal and the partitions.
There's, right now the bathrooms are standing as is, they meet ADA requirements at this point?
Well, if they require it, we will definitely
I would
change
think it
it.
would be required, if it's an ADA is a law, as we know.
Right.
Then I would think it would be required, not something that we would do it later.
Well, in New Jersey, they have
If I
different
was-
code for existing
If I
buildings.
was showing up as a student, ADA accessibility would have to be required by law.
Yes,
There's certain requirements that can be made as far as their ability to modify that based on an existing building, the hardship that may take into place as far as the modification of ADA requirements versus the attempts that they could make to modify it. So there are those into
There's also the approach in the corridor, the corridor widths, fountains, there's all kinds of ADA requirements that would be necessary. It's not grandfathered in as we go through. This is something that would be required by law.
I think their idea is to try to make as much compliance
It's
as
not an
possible.
idea that has to be done.
Okay, but that's not the purview of this board.
I understand.
It's not.
I get it, but you should show up with those images here, at least as a schematic drawing, saying this is what we're doing. It shouldn't be something that's just to try, and later on, we're gonna do it.
Agreed.
I don't think the Department of Education is gonna let them do that.
You know what, this is our moment,
I agree.
our moment,
Right.
not to wait to see what happens later on.
Right.
This is our moment to make sure, because this is our community, to make sure that this will be something that's going to be done correctly, to code. Not, I will just do it to code. The codes are very specific about what the codes are. In New Jersey says what the codes should be for this kind of building. And we didn't hear that.
Well, we did hear that, I don't wanna testify for him, so I'll just let
Yeah,
him
I'm asking
testify
you
stand for
not
what
to
it
say
is.
I'm making a point.
He's explained that they're gonna bring it up to code as far as meet the town's requirements and
So
as
New
far as.
Jersey Uniform Construction.
And then they are required under the DCA requirements for their education purposes to meet those standards as
Right.
well. So you will hear testimony from my client as far as
It's just all
his ability to comply with those state requirements for his education needs. And then the building needs, yes, there are certain ADA requirements, there are ADA parameters that do take place. And like I said, it takes into consideration hardship, their ability to do that, their ability to comply, and obviously their level of people that
It's
they're.
vague, and I remember visiting this building, and it was not something that was made easily for the public, even as it exists now. There was a lot of things that was had to be corrected. Anyway, thank you very much.
I have actually two other questions to ask.
Directly on that.
Directly on the architect.
Come on up.
Okay, thank you. I just want to read something very quickly, which is going to lead to the two questions I'm about to ask. I'm just doing my searches, and I just want to read for everyone's edification here. Open plan classrooms and
Not
operable.
that, not too quickly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Operable partitions. The New Jersey Department of Education permits alternative layouts such as classrooms divided by operable partitions, folding walls, were configured in an open space format popularized in the 1970s school architecture. If a school uses these setups, they must meet specific performance standards. Number one, acoustic controls under NJAC Title 6A 26-6.3. Any instructional space must be designed to modulate interior noise and minimize exterior noise. If a school uses flexible or temporary walls, the sound transmission class SCT ratings must be high enough to ensure that instruction in one room does not unlawfully disrupt the adjacent space. So my first question is, can the applicant attorney go on record saying that your partition walls here are going to comply with those SCT acoustic ratings so that there is not going to be disruptive noise from one makeshift classroom to the next? Are you going to have...
Well, one, we gotta make sure that my client's actually applicable to that, because the Department of Education may be different from the DCA application for a private parochial school versus a public school. I don't know if what you're reading has to do with a public school requirement versus their parochial school requirements that would be governed by possibly a different educational organization. So that's a little bit tough for me to determine, because I don't know if that's applicable to what they're going to be proposing here on a private parochial school versus possibly what you're looking at as a public school requirement.
Well, this apparently applies to all education facilities, grades K through 8 in the state of New Jersey. That's why I gave the...
But is that applicable to public schools?
All schools K through 8, even pre-K. And the other thing that I want to read here, minimum dimensions. Even without fixed structural walls, the designated perimeter of any specific instructional space must maintain a minimum clear dimension of 10 feet in any direction. So if I'm understanding that correctly, you're saying that you have to have at least 10 feet of open space between one classroom entity and the next one, but these are abutted. These are going to be sandwiched against one another, so you apparently have zero clear space between perimeter walls, where the state is saying that you have to have a minimum of 10 feet between any adjacent classrooms. Again, the reference here, Mr. Harris, the attorney, can look it up. It's Title 6A, 26-6.3.
Mike, are you saying that that's when these temporary walls are being used, or
Any temporary walls. This is for temporary walls. This is under the section, open plan classrooms and operable partitions. That's the main title for this section.
Here's my thought for the board. That is not rules or regulations that this board is expected to enforce.
I don't understand.
I mean,
I've been on this board for 25 years, and every time we had an application, we have a plan to look at. We didn't even see this application until we got here. And now we're saying we're going to try to do this and we're going to try to do that.
I'm not disagreeing with your point about the plan not being submitted. I agree with that point. I'm just saying, in terms of these regulations that Mike Sheldon is reading to us from his phone, that's not, there is a government agency whose job it is to make sure that a school complies with those rules. It is not the Belleville Planning Board.
I think it's the Belleville Planning Board job to make sure it's ADA accessible, a fire sprinkle system in there. Not something we'll try to do, or if it's cost effective, we'll do. These things need to be done.
I don't want to, I'm not advocating for it. I believe the testimony was if it's required to be done, they're going to do it.
Correct.
If it's not financial,
I didn't hear anything about financial.
You didn't hear that?
Not when it came to the fire.
Well, these plans will go through the permitting process, through building, plumbing, electric, fire, and all applicable departments for their review and approval before it is.
I have a question. Maybe it might. Has this been even submitted to the State Board of Education?
Why don't we have my, we'll reroute this and have my client come up here and answer. Yes, I can't answer questions directly as far as this guy is fine. I mean, for the record, we did submit the plans, it was referenced in there that these plans were submitted as far as a cover letter, which was delivered on April 15th.
He just testified and said he sent them out, but we didn't get them.
No, we hand-delivered them, is what we're saying. We have the 16 sets that were in our cover letter.
Who signed for it?
We hand-delivered those.
I definitely received the cover letter and All I have is what was provided to the members. I do know a set of this plan was provided to the zoning officer for the preliminary proposal.
It's a different board.
It was, well, it was,
That's
I get a
just-
letter of denial.
Yeah.
Brian did
There is a letter of
receive
denial
that,
here.
it's referenced.
A lot of detail on it,
I would suggest if the board is concerned about this issue, and I think you have reason to be concerned about that issue, but that's your call on that. You can ask for that plan, any other applicable plans, to be submitted to this board, and we reconvene again if you wish. That's within your purview to do, because
My opinion, I can't proceed on a plan that, we'll see, we'll wing it, we'll try. I mean, is there fire doors in between classrooms, basic safety?
Yeah, it should be.
I don't wanna hear it state. Any application, the store, whatever came before us, we had a plan. It met code or it didn't meet code. How do we say this
I
meets
also
code?
asked for the plans, Corinne, as usual, she's an angel, she gave me what she had, which didn't include the floor plan.
we're
So,
showing them
the 10-day log for public inspection hasn't been complied with here. I had no chance to look, all of us are seeing this for the first time tonight. So how is this in compliance with the 10-day log for public inspection prior to a year ago?
And that was my biggest concern, Michael, as soon as I got here. I'm like, where did this come from? They had no time to review or anything. I don't like being surprised. That's not my purview. I don't like that.
well, I think it's within the board's purview to ask the applicant to go back, submit those things, and reconvene at the next available public hearing date. That's within your purview to do, if that's your inclination.
Well, is there anything new that you plan to submit other than this? So that's the only one. So you want to?
I don't know how anybody else does. I don't feel comfortable hearing an application. It's like a sketch. It doesn't show me. ADA bathrooms, it doesn't show me. Firewalls, fire doors. I mean, the state, I don't want to hear the state.
The only problem with that, as he just stated, this is their plan. They don't have any backup plan.
And my concern is, and respectfully, that we have to get direction from the state that through others, no disrespect, when we can't ask them the questions directly to, where we can comply to. You know what I mean? Like, all of these questions, we're waiting on the state, well, the state can do this is under that law, that law, that law. What is that law? What is that law? Maybe we want to make that, maybe, not make, we want to make it, but maybe it should be tighter here locally. We have that approval to do that.
Basically, we can approve this plan, and the Department of Education can completely switch this plan to we don't even know what it looks like anymore.
Right.
It's not even anything like this, and I have a serious problem with that.
All right, so we have two ways of dealing with this. We either wait till next month, if that's the board's desire,
And have them submit
and have them resubmit it.
because you do it, I mean, it's hard to read that plan when you're sitting here with the easel, so.
Or we continue to hear it, or we can take a recess, everyone can look at it, and continue this meeting, and decide what's the board's desire.
I would just say, if you are gonna continue to push it to the next meeting in light of not, wasting anyone's time, that we look through the rest of the application, see if there's any other sticking points that you guys might be, either interested in hearing, or that might be a total hang-up for the entire board. I don't wanna just stop here, do half, come back next meeting, and then there's something else that we don't like. I'd rather send them back with a full list, or if there's no way to really cure it, then,
Well, I would like to see a traffic study with that provided,
We have a traffic engineer.
but we don't have a study.
He's gonna testify as far as what his findings were.
And are
That would be
our
something part of it.
A parking exhibit was provided to the members in the past.
I lived there for 60 years, I know all about the traffic there.
I do too.
Mr. Brand, is there town ordinance applying to schools in our town?
we do. And this particular one, it doesn't get as deep as you guys said with, classrooms and the layout there, but there's variances associated because we do have an ordinance based on it. And a lot of these variances, besides buffer strips and lot sizes, there's a lot here for parking. So, I don't know if you wanna go over that or not, I know that's a huge sticking thing for the neighborhood, but
I remember specifically
Parking and
when
drop-offs.
we did Sandy Lane, that architect was on spot. I mean, he had all the details on it.
Well, it's not, this is not the first school that comes from our board, and I
Right.
feel like we've had a lot more information and detail when it comes to plans, classrooms, description and everything. I just feel like this is an incomplete.
I do think that they should proceed, I do think that they should proceed further so we can actually, as Brian said, I don't want to stop it here and then when they come back next month,
find something else.
they will have something else,
Well, why don't we continue to hear it, and at several points, we'll then know what we need to see, I would think.
Correct, and as it is, we have currently eight variances,
Yeah,
seven?
seven
Plus
variances
like
is a lot. So we're gonna, is that in agreement with
Yeah,
everybody to hear
yeah.
this, and then we'll see what else we need,
Makes sense.
if that's okay?
Just one last comment before I return to my seat. Had the applicant complied with the law and provided this floor plan 10 days prior to tonight's hearing, would have given people like me adequate time to do the research, come up with all the associated state laws, school laws for space and acoustic.
Well, I think they're realizing that now.
So to go forward, to make a decision tonight, I can understand your desire to hear the whole case in case there are other issues, as Mr. Banda said, that need to be addressed. But to make a decision tonight, I don't think would
Well,
be
we
in
don't know at
compliance
this
with the law.
point. We
But
don't know
again,
what
just
we're
for
gonna
the
hear,
board's
so.
estimation, this is not a determination of their compliance with their obligations under their private school regulations. Again, I don't know what you're referencing, and whether it be a public school's requirement. They're not a public school, this is a parochial school. And again, I don't know what you're looking at, so I can't make that determination whether that's correct. So there are requirements, they have a similar school that they've met requirements on. This is gonna be not very different from what they have previously, I should say currently in Harrison, New Jersey. So this is a very, they've met those requirements before, they understand the requirements that they need to make as far as to satisfy those requirements with the state, as far as their particular parochial school requirements, and they have met with those individuals and those entities that be, to make sure that they're gonna comply with those requirements.
So why don't we continue and, let's listen to whatever the rest of the testimony we can get into tonight, but I think the board's position is that they likely would like to see those plans submitted and given an opportunity for everybody to review them, including the public.
That's fair enough.
And then maybe we would hold off on any vote and maybe any changes to the plans based on whatever else we hear tonight until the next meeting.
I think that's fair. We can get our experts to testify tonight, and then if we need some revisions to be placed on there, and you guys want some satisfaction as far as compliance with their particular requirements, I think that's also positive. We want everybody to feel comfortable with obviously what's being presented here, so.
Thank you.
Fortunately, they explained last night, not tonight, so. We
won't even be here
There's
tonight.
a
That's
twelve.
fine.
Some of us are a little drowsy.
All right, I had closed this portion, so you can continue with your next witness.
All right. Adnan, we're gonna start next to you as far as.
ADNANKHAN. 150 River Road, Montville, New Jersey, 07045.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Khan, you're testifying as what?
Professional engineer.
Engineer, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Could we hear your,
Yeah, I was here last month actually in front of this board, but I have a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, master's degree in construction management, testified over hundreds of boards, including this board and zoning board, federal court, superior court, over hundreds of boards throughout New Jersey.
we'll accept you as a witness.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Khan, can you give us a little bit of the layout of the existing building that remains there now, and what you see as far as the existing parking that's been retained?
Sure. Just like, before I jump into that, just to let you know, like, yeah, we are asking for 6, 7 variances, but all of those variances are pre-existing. And that is due to the reason that the building is there. Those are based on the current size of the lot versus the existing building that currently exists on the property. And as we have heard, that the applicant is not proposing to make any changes to the building. So unless this building is demolished and moved, whatever like repurposed for this building, it will have those variances associated with the lot.
Can you turn that a little bit so we can see it? Because you're blocking it when you're...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you just got to stand out of the way.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, so as you heard, like again, it's the property is an existing structure on Bridge Road. Bridge Road is a one-way street, moving from south to north.
Bridge Street.
So Bridge Street, sorry. Currently, the existing structure or the existing lot has 7 or 8 parking spaces. They are undesignated parking spaces and not striped properly, and they are not meeting the current standards of the parking. They are like basically like some people park there at angles, or some used to park like parallel to the existing building. So what we are trying to use is like we are proposing 7 full standard parking spaces, sorry, 9 parking spaces on the property. Out of the 9, there will be 1 van accessible handicap parking space. There is again, there is a parking variance, or waiver we are requesting is the closeness of the parking space to the adjacent property, and that is due to the fact that the property on the south has their driveway pretty much abutting the driveway of our lot here. So that's what triggers that parking, and again, it's an existing condition. The parking is there currently as we speak. So what we are doing is we are restriping the parking lot, giving them proper distances of parking spaces, and adding a handicap parking space which will be then accessible. As far as any exterior improvements, there are none proposed for the exterior of the building. As you heard, most of them, actually all of the renovations will be inside the building and to the facade of the building.
As far as the setbacks, you know, rear yard, side yard, we have lot width, side yard setback, rear yard, front yard. Those are, like you testified, those are pre-existing conditions. Nothing could be done?
Nothing could be done. Like I said, lot width is 90 feet. The existing lot is only 83.83 feet, so which is an undersized lot to start with.
So any application that's going to come before here, whether it's my client or another client, is going to meet these same bulk requirements and bulk variances that are going to be necessary if they plan on using the existing building.
That is correct. And then same applies to all the other, like lot coverage, the site is 100% built up, like it says as following building.
So if it was to remain an assembly hall, what kind of deficiencies would they be facing at that point? I mean, as far as the requirements that 4 spaces be required, so I think the testimony was approximately 150 people as far as capacity. If that's 4 spaces, then I think that equates, if I'm doing the math correctly, is about 37.5 spaces that are needed for that spot. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And so with the existing layout, they're much more deficient than what the proposed application would be, where they're adding 2 spaces and minimizing the amount of people to max about 46 people.
That is absolutely correct. And I think, it's, again, as I said, like any viable project on the site, which will have less variances, will require that building to be demolished and built. But again, based on what they can build, satisfying these size setback requirements, it will be a very, very small structure. That's probably not feasible for this lot. So, I mean, based on the zone it's located in. One other thing is there is an existing sign on the building that is for the Knights of Columbus, and the applicant is repurposing that sign or reusing that sign. Everything else will remain the same except for the message will be the name and the address. But the Knights of Columbus sign that is already on the building, again, it's a non-conforming sign, but it's there. So we are reutilizing the existing sign, and we are not proposing any additional sign on the building besides the one that's there.
And no, the existing building footprint. to interfere with that.
That is correct.
Any significant site disturbance on the property?
No, there is no site disturbance except for restriping and repairing the pavement area, existing pavement area.
And that's intended to be done based on the new layout on the contours of the site?
That is correct. That's the layout, the parking layout that we are proposing.
So yeah, just to reiterate, you're planning on meeting those requirements that the January 24th, 2026 letter recommended as far as restriping and repaving?
Correct, yes. Also, I believe, and again, our traffic engineer will explain it more detail and go in detail regarding the parking, but he had a meeting with Mr. Herrick's office, and there was a concern raised about the pickup and drop-off. So we prepared this exhibit, and I believe it was submitted to the board, but if the board wants, I can mark it as an exhibit. But my understanding is that it was submitted to the board.
That's correct.
So basically what this exhibit shows is like, again, the site layout, the parking, everything is the same. There was a question regarding a pickup and drop-off. So what we created on the driveway, we created 3 temporary pickup and drop-off areas for the parents to drop off their kids. And again, probably the applicant will testify further, but my understanding is these pickups and drop-offs will be monitored by someone from the academy. There will be a person by the door to pick up and to take the kids from the parents and take them inside, and same thing in the afternoon. They will be there to monitor the pickup and drop-offs. So we have created these 3 pickup and drop-offs area just for the time of the school hours, basically. And the rest of the time, the driveway is operating the way it is operating. As far as the parking, there is no such requirement in the town ordinance for a parochial school. So what we did, but it says like it should be close to any comparable use. So that's what we are using, the parking requirement, that 1 space required for 4 seats or 4 pupils in this case. So the 40 students will translate to 10 parking spaces, and then we have 6 teachers. So basically 16 spaces that are required. And we are proposing 9 spaces, excluding the 3 pickup and drop-off. So that's a variance that we are asking, and again, as I mentioned, because of the lot configuration, the way the building is situated on the lot and how this lot is existing, that's the maximum standardized parking that we can get with circulation enough so that the cars can come in and out of the property. There was also a question regarding a fire hydrant near the property. So there is a fire hydrant, and it's shown on the plan. It's just across the street on the corner towards the parking or the driveway across the street. So there is an existing fire hydrant. As far as FDC connection and things like that, that will be addressed as part of the MEP plans if this project gets approved, and that will be shown. But again, as required by the fire department, it has to be certain distance from the fire hydrant, and I think we can easily meet those requirements. Again, this exhibit also shows like an aerial view of the existing building, of what currently exists, and a street view with the sign on the property.
This is everything.
Now, again, there are parking requirements, obviously set forth by certain standards, but at least is this parking demand the best layout they were able to come up with to meet this demand of the school based on, again, what's being proposed as far as maximum 40 students and 6 staff?
Right.
So again, we don't meet the parking requirements, but this is at least a good layout that you've been determined to have to meet those requirements.
Yeah, and I think it will work effectively because again, we are anticipating 6 teachers, maybe 1 administrator. So we have like 8 spaces excluding the handicapped space. So they have enough room, like say they're coming, they have room to park their cars. The pickup and drop-off will be strictly used by the parents for the kids.
So the actual parking demand may be a lot lower than the ordinance actually requires.
That is correct. And of course, our traffic engineer will go in detail based on his findings, the parking in the area. So that's my direct, and again, I'm here to take any questions.
Anyone have
So-
any questions?
We're gonna have a traffic expert too?
Just to be clear on the parking, our ordinance requires to total everything up for this particular site and use, 17 spaces and 1 loading space. It also requires a drop-off area for at least 2 buses. Type 1, that's a 40-passenger bus. So, just so you know.
And again, can I comment? Again, like this is a school, I think the deliveries that we are expecting may be just the regular FedEx and UPS or supplies. So, I mean, the way I believe that was happening for the Knights in Columbus, that they just park in here. In this case, they can at least pull in or park in the temporary pickup and drop-off area, deliver the mail, and then they can leave. As far as the buses, my understanding is that this particular school doesn't employ any buses. They're not anticipating any buses. Most of the pickup and drops off are either carpooling or by the parents. So
We understand that, but it's part of our ordinance, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, so it's variance.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's part of our ordinance, the requirements that we're asking.
No, I agree, and I think that's a waiver that the applicant will be seeking from.
So that means it's another variance. That's not part of, correct, Brian?
Those parking variances are all listed. The drop-off area really has not been provided because it doesn't,
Sidewalk.
there's not enough for 2 buses that size. And if they do have it, they're just overlapping the other spaces. So that would be the way that they were doing that.
Are those 3 spaces that are designated for drop-off, how many are going to be overlapped in that area?
How many?
How many spaces are going to be overlapped? Is there going to be overlap of parking space designated for the 3 drop-off spaces?
Just one, those parallel parking along the street. But again, like usually when the parents come, like usually the teachers come before the students. So usually that will be filled in earlier.
So they will be using the handicap space.
No, behind the handicap, if you look at it where the stop sign is, at the bottom. So we want like number 3, those are the 3 pickup and drop-off spaces.
Again,
We're not addressing,
those are standard size spaces. Those aren't the type 1 buses.
Correct.
Yeah. So it still remains a variance. They've found a different way to, get a drop-off spot.
and those 3 drop-off spaces, they are not on the sidewalk, is that correct?
That is correct. They are all within the property.
I don't know if it's a question for him or the traffic expert, but you're talking about drop-off. Are you aware of a letter from the Belleville Police Department today saying they do not approve of this?
I haven't seen that yet.
You guys want to take a look at it? Or?
I showed their traffic.
You showed the traffic, somebody will bring it up, because he was speaking about
He's
dropping
gonna have
off.
to bring it up.
So I'll bring it up with the traffic expert? All right.
All right, any other questions of this witness? All right, having that, I'm going to close this portion. I'll open up to the public. Now remember, we're speaking what he is addressing.
Kind of a little update from Mary Street. They noticed that you mentioned that there was a previous variance based on the parking situation and the use of the building as a hall, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that the previous use of the building was a Catholic men's organization? We were in partnership with the church to be able to use their parking lot as well to meet any variance codes that were needed. You aware of that?
I'm not sure, I'm aware of that, yeah, it used to be in conjunction with the church, but I don't know between the church parking and the parking here, will it still meet the maximum requirement?
It's a very good parking lot for the church. Have you approached the church about doing the same?
Yes.
And what have they told you?
The applicant will go over that.
Okay.
He has the conversation.
Okay. So the 3 spots in front, the 3 parking spots in front, the drop-off area, I suppose? So they're gonna pull in, they're gonna bring their children over to the attendant, then they're gonna get in and back out, or are they gonna pull in and through and turn around? How does that happen?
They can do either, like they can do.
Have you driven in the parking lot, that parking?
No, I haven't driven it.
That driveway?
No.
Okay, it's very difficult to turn around when there are no cars in a lot.
Yes.
Let alone you have, now the whole side is taken up with the staff vehicles and administration vehicles, there'll be no way to turn around in there.
These parking currently exist. These are not
Yes,
new parking.
I understand,
spaces.
they're also not used. We park, the parking is sideways, and you have to pretty much back out. You can't, with cars parked in that lot, there's no turning around really. It's very difficult.
No,
very
actually, that's not correct, because again, yeah, they can turn around.
So you've driven there?
We run the turnaround models, again, they have to do a couple of K-turns, but they can turn around. There's enough room here, right here, and I can show off some vehicle circulation with our software that we use that show the car park.
So software AI says you turn around before you turn around. Okay.
That's the whole world use those
Okay.
engineering
Well,
standards.
I know how you feel about the application,
But the
that's
engineering
obvious.
standards are there.
But you don't have to be rude to the man, let him answer the question.
And just one at a time while he's answering, just wait until he's done, please.
Okay.
Before you ask the next question, thank you.
And just to answer you, we have engineering standards, this whole world is built, right? So that is part of those engineering standards.
Is turning radiuses and those calculations historically used in all these calculations as far as parking scenarios and parking establishments and parking characteristics in these types of lots?
Yes, exactly. And again, as I said, like, it's not going to be something like someone come and just make a turn. They have to do a few K-turns before they were able to turn around.
And how long have those calculations been used in your experience throughout?
I've been using it for over 30 years now, myself.
Okay. Next dummy question. So they're pulling in, they're dropping it off, they're back up or they get out. What time does the school open? You know, what times
That would
do
be,
they have to?
that would be a question for the next witness.
The applicant will explain.
The traffic?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Thank
And
you.
the applicant. Mr. Hinge? Yes?
How many teachers and employees will be in that building?
To my understanding, 6 teachers and maybe 1 administrator.
And the parking outside, you say, is how many?
9.
9. And now you're saying that the turnaround. Why don't you have any of these plans that show these things that you want to do with a cutout in the front? You bring us prints of what's existing there, not what you're proposing. So how can we make a judgment on things when you're showing us one thing that has nothing to do with the other?
This is not existing, this is what we are proposing. This is the plan for the proposal.
Where's the cutout for the drop-off?
Right here.
That's where the existing driveway is. Have you pulled in there and parked?
No, I don't know.
I pulled in there many a times and parked, where you had to park on an angle so you can get out, so you can back out. There is no turnaround unless you have a peanut of a car, all right?
There's no
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and can I answer that? The reason for that is because the way the car or the striping or the fade away the striping is not according to the code or the standards. They are somewhere they are short, people are parking like they are not designated space. So what we are doing is we are channelizing the parking by providing an adequate parking space for each car. So let's say if I'm not parking in this box and I park right here, of course you will have problems. Turning around.
There goes the playground in the yard.
What's that?
There goes the playground in the yard. You can't park cars there and have a recreational area outside.
We are not proposing any recreation on the outside.
I thought that was one of the rules.
Well, that would be up to the state.
All right. This project seems too big for such a small
Gary,
piece of.
Gary,
I'm trying to get my thoughts together.
it's not for him.
Yes. Where is the garbage trucks are gonna be?
The garbage will be, there will be a room inside, or there will be a place inside for the garbage, and the day of collection that will be pulled out for curbside.
Like the house?
Like a house.
As far as the kitchens that are in there, will there still be kitchens?
I don't think there is a kitchen there, because there is no food preparation or serving. The restaurants will bring their lunches and will eat.
All right, thank you. You're gonna have one. Okay.
I did have a question just to piggyback on Gary's question about the garbage. Currently, I believe, again, there's a dumpster in the back. So you're going to eliminate the dumpster, and you're going to keep garbage in the building, and then that's going to come out. Is there any code based on the building of garbage, who does and what does?
Do it at your house. No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Do they have to have their own garbage men, or they're gonna use ours?
I think it's commercial, they can use their own.
They can or they?
I think we only have to pick up residences.
Right, so, okay, so then you're gonna have a outside agency pick up your garbage?
If it's a requirement, yes.
Outside, so would be in no requirement.
Randolph Stefanelli, I live at 92 Bridge Street. My driveway is the adjacent driveway. So they're going to be doing K-turns next to my cars all day?
No. The K
One
turns.
at a
Where's
time,
the drop-
one
where's the
person,
drop
wait,
off?
one person has to speak at a time, wait till
Okay.
he's done, please.
The drop off is in the front. So there are two, yeah, and your property, I believe, is this one right here. Yeah. So again, your cars are parked right here too,
Yes.
along the thing, and then you are currently,
You're just all talking, at the same time, I can't take it down. At one at a
let me
time.
just finish and then you can add on it. So currently you back out on the Bridge Street, right? You don't move, turn around on your property, you back out on Bridge Street.
No, I back into my driveway and I pull out.
I mean, the same thing can be done here too. So
Okay,
I
so-
think, I mean, hypothetically, that can be done here too. So if you can back in and then back out straight, that same thing can happen here. So it's no different scenario than what you have on your property. It's the exact same scenario that.
Right, I'm not doing it 40 times.
But again, you're not doing
We're gonna have some
40 times
testimony
either.
that may alleviate some of
Yeah,
your
you're not doing
concerns
it 40
from
times
last
either.
night.
Okay, and
We're all talking again.
I wasn't there. Okay,
One
and-
at a time, please.
And also the garbage concern. If you're keeping a dumpster with children's food and milk cartons and all, it has to be 50 feet away from a residential. My house is right there. Where do you plan on keeping the dumpster?
There can be,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I have to talk to the architect, there can be an enclosed structure for garbage itself, within the building, inside the building. And again, if it's enclosed, there's no 50-foot requirement. If it's outside, then there is certain requirements for the setback. I don't think so, there's a 50-foot requirement. I don't, at least, I'm not aware of that.
So you're keeping the garbage inside the building?
Yeah. And again, we are not anticipating a massive amount of garbage. We are anticipating like this small garbage that can be taken out if needed, whatever.
Now, will there be people driving across my driveway to get into your driveway and dropping off in my driveway and stopping there and putting their lights on?
I hope
and
not.
blocking my-
I hope not.
Will you be pulling in front of the building on the sidewalk? Is that where you plan on dropping the buses off? On the sidewalk?
There will be no buses.
Okay, the vans, the minivans, the parents, you said you're dropping them off at the door?
They are dropped.
There's parking there right now.
Yeah, that will stay there, like if needed, whatever they need, but we are proposing 3 separate dedicated drop-off parking spaces on our property. So the parents will come in, they will drop off, there will be a person receiving the kids or sending them off at the afternoon, and that's how we're going to operate the pickup and drop-offs. It will be supervised pickup and drop-offs by that center.
Next question.
Wait, 1 second, wait 1 second. That gentleman back there is going to go first. He's still waiting. Then I'll call you. That's all right.
Bender, Columbus Institute President, 98 Bridge Street.
Say that again, please.
Bender,
Derek?
Derek, D-U-R-R,
D-U-R-R and the address is?
94, 98 Bridge Street.
Thank
I'm
you.
the Columbus Institute President. We own the building, not the Knights of Columbus. First, I want to correct the gentleman over here. We are not affiliated with St. Peter's Church. We're the Belleville Knights of Columbus standalone. We made a statement, and we had agreements. There was never any agreements. We have a couple of past Grand Knights and past Columbus, what was it, sitting in the back. Second of all, the gentleman was just up there worried about cars backing out. I've been there 25 years. How many times your car's been here?
A few.
How many?
Not by you.
All right.
I don't know anybody.
How many times
Wait a
have
minute.
they blocked my driveway?
I'm sorry,
Police.
Mr. Durr, I want to
Yeah.
just interrupt you for a second, and I appreciate,
Yeah, what?
I appreciate that you want to give your comments and everything, but this is not that part of the meeting, so it would be best if you could address any questions you have to the engineer
to the engineer.
Everything you're saying might be germane to the board. I think it is important for the board to know all that, but.
I think the gentleman, Mr. Bondi, said about garbage pickup is only by for the commercial, but not for commercial.
If the town picks it up, I believe.
Not
most-
ours,
No, not yours. The town picks up residential.
residentials and commercials. Yes, sir. We have two doctor's offices on each side of the street on Bridge Street, both picked up by the town.
Find out.
Does anybody have any questions?
All right.
Commissioner Coe?
Anyone else? Sir, please state your name and address.
George Lorenzano, 79 Bridge Street. One question, how wide is that driveway?
This driveway is about like 28 or 30 feet.
We need quiet, so the reporter,
It's about 28 feet.
No, the width,
Yeah, the width is 28 feet.
28 feet,
Yeah.
and the car is 20 feet. Or the
No, the car is not 20 feet, the car is 9 feet, so I mean 6 feet, 7
16
feet.
feet, whatever it is.
That's the length, not the width. Width is 6.5 feet,
Yeah, but the car is parked on an angle.
straight,
Or the car's gonna come in straight?
because the thing comes straight.
Current layout.
Yes, sir.
Right now,
You can use this one is bigger.
Okay, don't forget, I'm still taking this down, so it's gotta be a question, then an answer, then a question. Thank you.
this is driveway. How's the parking this one?
Maybe currently they're
Oh,
doing.
you bought currently? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Under the proposed condition, they will be parallel along the property.
So the car's gonna be pulling up in here, and turning around, come on back down?
No, the spaces that you see, these boxes, these are the proposed parking spaces. The rest of the driveway, which is about slightly less than 18 feet, this is where the cars will go and park in the back.
All right, so we're saying this is, the width of this is?
It's about 28 feet, it's slightly more than 20.
Okay, so each student's parents should drop them off right there. And there's 40 students.
Not at the start, but ultimately that's the maximum.
Let's say 20, 25. One drops off, where's all the other ones gonna be? On the street, right, straight turn?
And that's what we're going to provide testimony by traffic and the applicant. They will provide further
It's a
testimony.
one-way street, so.
I agree. Yes, please.
Okay.
Any other questions for this witness? Mr. Shelton, come on up. Please, only for him.
Those of us who live in Belleville know that your driveway here is relatively narrow. But the question here is, if all the staff are in, all those parking spots are occupied, has the fire department provided their requisite analysis and certification that, God forbid, there's a fire here, that they can get emergency vehicles into the back of the building? It looks like that back right corner, it's very constricted. And I would imagine, without them having full opportunity to do all the confirming measurements, that they would be difficult, especially with cars parked along that boundary, or a fire truck or even an ambulance to get to the back of the building. And I'd also like to know, what are the, can you just for the record, what are the ingresses and egresses? I know there's the front door, I think there's a side door. Are there any other doors going to be included in your project?
Let's take you one step at a time.
Let me answer my fire part.
So the fire part, at least with the existing current layout, with the current diagonally striped layout, with the way the Knights of Columbus had, and potentially assembly hall of anywhere between 100 and 150 max people. If you had the entire spaces lined up with diagonal spaces that are parked there, with 100 and 150 people, could a fire truck get in there with the way the cars would be parked and the amount of people that were in there? Is that a safety hazard?
There is no way.
Well, you're not a fire expert, I understand.
I can give you some code requirements too. There is no fire, first of all, the fire truck cannot access the site, depth of the site. And they're not going to do it because there is a collapse zone requirement in the fire code.
that the fire equipment has to be 2.5 times the height of the structure away from the structure in case it collapses, because they don't want their equipment to get damaged, which is $1 million or multi-million-dollar equipment. So there is always this requirement that they don't go and if the, let's say, God forbid, if the site is on fire, they're not going to go back and park their car next to the thing. They're going to fight the fire from the street. The hydrant is right across the street, so they're not going to go there. As far as the emergency vehicles like ambulances, yeah, they can go and they can turn around because their wheelbase is something similar to F-150 or trucks like that, which they can do it. As far as now to your question about the emergency exits, and I believe the architect testified, there are 5 exits, I believe, and he can confirm where they are. But the main entry and exit is through the front. And we are required by code, I think we are required 2 ingress and egresses. And we are proposing more than that. So this suffices the fire department requirements.
Do you have certification from our fire department that they can get an ambulance or other emergency vehicle in the back?
The plans were submitted to them, we never received any report.
So I just want to let you know, I did forward the plans to the fire department. They did have a couple of questions. We did receive the parking site plan as a backup to them. They asked for fire department connection, nearest hydrant. Everything had been satisfied, and the only request after that they had was that our subcode official in the building department confirms if sprinklers have to be installed, they put a specific type of pipe in. And that will be, once the full set is given to the building department, if approved, then the fire department will also look to confirm. But they are aware of this and they did receive the plans that I have. Not architectural, but, you know, there was back, there was back and forth and they're 100% aware, as is the police department.
Just one last comment. I think it's
No comments, just questions. right
Returning
now.
said that, you know, with the building having a potential occupancy of 150, why it should be a concern here. But the difference is this planned use is for children, not for adults, not for, you know, it's a very different situation here. It's not fair to compare the two. So I just wanted to go on record with that. Thank you.
Any other questions from the audience? I'm going to close this portion. We have the next witness.
Thank you very much.
Sure, food and water, follow you on this. Yep.
Right hand, please, sir. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can put your hand up. State your name first, please.
First name is Shah Fudin.
Okay, let's spell that. please.
SHARFUDDIN. The last name is Ibrahim. IBRAHEEM.
That's fine. Thank you. And business address for the record?
621 Harrison Avenue, Harrison NJ 07029.
Thank you.
Sharfuddin, can you give us an idea of this proposed school and why it exists, or why you have it chosen this site as far as the next school you're studying? Yeah.
Presentation?
Yeah. Is there additional needs being met that are needed to be met from the Harrison School?
Good evening, dear Chairman and Board Member of the Planning Board. My name is Shafuddin, as I mentioned, Ibrahim. I am the Imam of the Islamic Center at Harrison and the founder and director of Marwah Academy in Harrison, New Jersey. Now I'm talking about Marwah Academy. First of all,
Marwah Academy is also the name of the school in Harrison, is that right?
Marwah Academy is a registered non-profit education, and Marwah Academy is also registered from the Board of Education, New Jersey Board of Education. So Marwah Academy was started to serve families who want to a school that provides both strong academic education and strong moral values. We follow the New Jersey Common Core standard and teach English, math, science, social studies, along with Islamic studies and Quranic education. There is a strong and growing need for this type of school in our community. Many parents are looking for the balance of education, academic and values. We also keep our school small and focused, so each student receive personal attention and better learning support.
And did you feel that there was a need to gain additional students and have a growing school base? Did you?
Yes.
As far as you're saying, is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Hold on. In the Harrison School, how many students do you have currently in Harrison School?
right now we have registered 29 students,
Okay.
because we got the certificate of occupancy from the Harrison Board of Planning Board, 29 students and 4 teachers. And the square feet is 1,800 square feet. It was the 1 bathroom, but the planning board suggests me add the another bathroom, because they told me that in the New Jersey, under the New Jersey rules, the per 15 student, 1 bathroom, or 1,500 square feet, 1 bathroom. If you have more than 15 students or more than 1,500 square feet, need the another bathroom, so we add the another bathroom. So we got the certificate of occupancy from the planning board of Harrison, New Jersey, 29 students and 4 teachers, 1 administration.
How many current students would you have enrolled in this school if it were to be over here?
Here,
Currently.
in first few years, maybe 20, 25.
So you would have a limited enrollment,
Yes.
and what we discussed here tonight as far as 40, that would be the max that you would have.
Yes.
So currently, your testimony is that you only have 20 to 25 students. As far as the, obviously, you gave a brief statement as far as your mission and the enrollment. Talk a little bit about the curriculum and what you teach, and as far as the layout on the original architect testimony, how you have that layout and how that's set forth.
You're talking about the classroom?
Correct. You have approximately, each classroom was going to be approximately 10 students?
Yeah, less than 10 students. We don't
Maximum
need,
10 students?
Yeah. We didn't need the 8 classroom, because we are talking about the classroom, while the 4 classroom, I'm going to explain you. We don't need the 8 classroom, because some students will be in the multi-purpose room for the Islamic studies classes, while the other student will be in regular classes. This is the different. Public school and the private school is a completely different structure, because the public school is follow the regular education. So we add the Islamic education also.
And have you met all the state requirements as far as the other Harrison school?
Yes.
And do you intend to meet all the state requirements with the school as well?
Yes.
And you've had no violations, no complaints,
No complaints.
no issues as far as your Harrison school?
Last 10 years, we don't have any complaints from our neighbors, because we maintained the good citizens.
How many children would currently be carpooling into this school?
Most of the parents carpool. The thing is, more than 25 students, they are coming by carpooling.
You currently have faculty that take students per day to the schools, is that correct?
Yes, Monday to Friday.
And you don't utilize buses?
No.
You have basic commercial minivans that you can use. Okay. And how many students approximately come with each teacher?
6, 7, 8, less than 10.
Per car? How many per car would you take?
Per car is the 5 students.
Okay. And how many teachers are going to be bringing? Okay. So approximately 15 students would be carpooling,
Yes.
and the other
Other
5
parents
to
also.
10 students would
Yes,
be,
yes.
and all, out of those students that come individually, do they also carpool with,
Yes, yes,
do they come with sisters and brothers who also
Yes.
attend the school?
yes.
As far as the age groups, you have tell us how you would stagger the start times on those students. You would have a 7:45 start time for some students, is that correct?
Yes.
And then a 9 o'clock start time for some other students, is that correct? All right, so tell us about did you meet with other business owners within the area to determine when their businesses operate in order to help comply to lessen any sort of requirements? You did? And so that those drop-offs are determined based on your meetings with neighboring business owners. So the 7:45, when would classes end?
We have the two group of class. One class start from 7:45 to 2:45, which is
And what age groups are those children?
K through 5th grade.
Okay.
Excuse me, it was K through what?
K to 5th grade. The other group start from 9 o'clock to 1:30 p.m. 6th grade up.
And 6th grade to, just so they can hear you, 6th grade to what?
6th grade to 8th grade.
To 8th grade.
This is Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday.
Would there be any night meetings or night school?
No.
Any weekends?
No.
So school would essentially end by 2:45 would be the latest.
Yes.
And when would the faculty ultimately be off-site as well?
Regular schools.
Within the hour?
Yes.
So somewhere around 3:45,
Yes.
4 o'clock, you don't anticipate having any faculty?
Yes. Yes.
And again, those, majority of those students would be leaving with the faculty off-site as well. So pickup times will be staggered as well, between 2:45 and approximately what time for the older students?
Other students come from 9 to 1:30,
Okay.
6th grade to 8th grade.
And so, approximately how many students would be in the 6th to 9th grade?
15 to 20.
So about half.
Yeah, about half.
And as far as the drop-offs go and pickups, would you be then coming out to meet the parents in order to help usher the children into the?
I send the teacher to pick up the drop to the school and also drop off to the parents' car.
And if school is starting at 7:45 and you're bringing a carpool of children, how many other teachers are going to be carpooling the children?
3 teachers.
And does this also work regularly in your Harrison location? And this is how you also present this curriculum and present this to parents when they're interested in enrolling in your school. You encourage the carpooling, you tell them about your own pickup and drop off for your teachers, is that correct? Again, and you talk to them about how you would handle pickups and drop offs as far as you ushering their children from their vehicle to the place to make sure it's as safe as possible. Then give us a little idea of then, again, the layout, how that works for your kids' benefit for the small classes and the kind of intimate teaching situation that you've encountered. Do you find that to be the best teaching method as far as one-to-one and for the teachers that are going to have that small group?
As I mentioned, the personal attention, one-to-one, each student the personal attention.
Okay. Did you attempt to make contact with the neighboring property owner in order to try to gain additional spaces?
Yes, I contacted the church, the father they want, and also the other neighbor also.
I'm sorry, the church I didn't hear.
Just father,
Oh, other.
father I want.
And then what did you say after that?
And the other neighbor also, we tried to get the parking from there, but we could not, unfortunately.
So you made attempts to try to acquire additional space to satisfy the parking deficiencies. Will other students, as far as your other location, and do you anticipate this location, them walking to school? Do you have other students in your Harrison location that also travel there without vehicles?
Yes.
And do you encourage that, obviously, for some of the areas that you now looking to locate? Give us a little designation about the teachers. So you have 4 teachers that would arrive with the students as a carpool,
Yes.
and then you have 2 arriving and possibly 1 administrator on site as well.
I'm also a teacher, my wife is teacher.
And your wife is also the principal of the school?
You can say that.
She's the principal of you as well, right? That's good. Is there going to be any religious ceremonies taking place at the school? Any cafeteria on site, any cooking on site?
No.
How do typically these children, there's some concern about this, but I assume they eat during the day, is that correct?
They're doing the whole lunch.
They all bring their own lunch to school. That's typically a lot of students do. Any religious functions over the weekends? Any religious functions at night? Again, this is a school that you teach education to these children. And is it going to roughly follow the same calendar year as typical schools?
Yes, the public school.
Okay. And so therefore, no summer classes?
No, sir. We strictly follow for the holidays and education, whatever public school, local public school.
And you've gotten together with your engineer and your architect as far as doing this the best layout for the students. And you, again, you haven't had any issues with any state requirements in your prior schools. I have no further questions. If anybody else has any questions?
I have a couple. Are you an accredited New Jersey school?
Yes, we are the registered from the Board of Education. We have the license from the Board of Education.
License from the Board of Education?
New Jersey Board of Education.
I'm not sure if we're talking on the same thing, but are you a licensed?
Yes.
You're
I
a
have
licensed
license,
teacher for what grade level?
I have the K to 12 grade. We have the license.
No. That's what you're able to teach?
No, we are not teaching
That's
the
what I'm
high.
asking. What is,
You are talking about me?
yes, you said
Person
you are teaching.
Yes, I am teaching Islamic studies. Islamic studies and also Quran. For the English, for the math, social, we have the other teachers.
Okay, and you're licensed by the state of New Jersey? And the grades, because you say 4 classrooms, I don't want to get the gist of exactly how you're going to put
Yes, I
these
mentioned
things.
K to 8 grade, about 5 years to 15 years old. And the thing is, just I mentioned, we don't need the 8 classroom.
I understand that, but I'm trying to envision.
Yeah, the thing
You have
is,
a 6-year-old and you have a 10-year-old, are they going to be put in the same
Yeah.
class?
when I teach the Islamic education, it's the large group. We merge the classes. So for the long time we teach. When they finish, the other second group come to me and they go to the regular education. And the same thing we can switch. That's why we put only 4 classes and then 1 multi-purpose rooms. This is the bigger.
And when you recruit for this school, do you go to the surrounding towns, or how do you get your students?
The social media, so we can contact to the parents, people, so we can announce. We try to get the student from the Belleville town because there's so many parents requested me. So open here the garage because the Harrison is so far and also we don't have the space over there, just 49.
So your Harrison School has Belleville residents that attend there who would be happy to see a school open up here,
Yes.
to have their children be a little closer to them.
All right. You run no trips or, no kind of parties for the kids? Something we've never
Just
done.
education.
Just
The
education.
limited time, limited students, limited enrollment, limited teachers.
Okay.
We are not going to bother our neighbors. And one more thing,
Well, I'm not concerned about the neighbors, I'm concerned about what kind of education these kids are getting. If you're a licensed person and you're accredited by the state of New Jersey, I think that's a good thing, and that's the right way to handle things.
yes, last 10 years I'm working in Harrison.
Right.
And also I'm getting the grant from the New Jersey.
And have you had children go on, you've had a girl graduate and go on to med school, is that correct?
Yes,
You've had a child graduate and go on to become an architect?
yes. Some of the students right now, they are enrolled in the medical college. Other students are enrolled in other professions.
I just have one question. In reaching out, in your outreach to people, how many people from Belleville actually have you reached out to?
Yeah, yeah, people.
I'm just saying, kids that you're going to educate.
I think the question is, how many have you personally reached out to, or did they essentially reach out to you knowing that there's an Islamic studies curriculum that goes on, at least mine?
More than 10 parents that reach me. And most of the parents, they are bringing to the Harrison, so because they don't have the facilities here. That's why we are going to add another branch here.
So Belleville is going to Harrison, is what you're saying. Now,
Two different.
that's what you just, tell me
Do you have Belleville students that are
Belleville
currently enrolled in
residents are
Harrison?
going to Harrison now,
Yes.
to be educated for education, English.
No, for Islamic, for
Okay,
Islamic studies.
okay, but your school teaches both.
Both, yes.
Okay, so really, okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
We have option, because some of the students, they are coming only for the Islamic education, and the other education they get from the online.
That was my question.
Yeah, that's why the time is the second group, 9 to 1:30 p.m. Most of the students, they are getting the regular education from online. We have the partnership with Bayan Academy. They are providing the online academic classes on daily basis, Monday to Friday. They are following strictly the regular education system, like math, English, science, social studies, and different.
But again, you plan on meeting all state requirements, with whatever would be required if this was approved, to set up your school, you meet all state requirements.
Are there any other?
And where's the Harrison School located? If someone wants to see how it operates.
Is that 621 Harrison Avenue?
621 Harrison Avenue. No, excuse me. I live 621 Harrison Avenue, and the business 228 Harrison Avenue.
228, so you're down the street.
Yes.
Now, you say you have some residents, some students from Belleville. Have you seen overall stronger interest from residents of Belleville?
Yes.
A lot stronger than the 10 you say that usually come to that.
And the surrounding area also.
And the surrounding area also.
I have a question. I'm a little unclear. You said some of the students take online classes and then you teach some kids education also?
All right, I'm going to close this portion down, I'm going to open it up to the public. Mr. Hinton?
You, in the beginning, you said that you were a nonprofit.
Yes.
Are you earning tax advantage for that?
Non-profit means it's tax exempt.
What?
Non-profit means it's tax exempt.
It says it's tax exempt, you don't have to pay tax. Do you have any plans on increasing the size of that building? Putting a second floor, making it wider, anything? Do you think that that property is sufficient for what you're
As I mentioned here, limited service, limited student, limited time, limited involvement. We don't have any plan to build or increase our students, the building. We have the enough students, enough place, this building. So we are not getting to the more than 40 students because our goal to attention to each student.
So you said you have 2 buses?
No bus.
No buses?
No buses, no
Yes,
buses.
minivans, is that
Yeah,
correct?
minivan, the family van.
Minivan.
The family van, Toyota Sienna.
Where are they bringing the kids from?
As I told you, just I'm trying to get the student from the Belleville and the surrounding area.
Where are the existing 15 to 20 students that you're carpooling, where would they be coming from?
Maybe from Belleville or surrounding area.
That's one last thing, you said you have a license, can I see that?
So you can,
Yes or no?
yeah, I can provide it to the board.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
If the board asks me, I can provide. I have it. I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Why do you want to see his license?
You believe him? I just want to see it, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other person that would like to cross-examine Mr. Sheldon?
One stupid question.
Wait, he's got the floor right now. Mr. Sheldon. Let's not make confusion. Let,
Maybe you can ask the same question, I'll have to get up.
I'm Michael Sheldon again, 47 White Street. Without being too pedestrian, I believe you talked about bathroom facilities. I think you mentioned, you went over some of the bathroom facilities.
Yes.
In your, could you just again summarize what the bathroom situation is in your project?
Yeah, yes, I am mentioned.
Well, I'm in the back of the room. We have the zoning board chairman who is offering color commentary, and sometimes the testimony gets drowned out, so
So do you want me
yes,
to give?
please,
Okay.
give us the answer.
Thank you so much. Under the VDOC rules, we have the bathrooms are more than enough for the 40 students. As I mentioned in the Harrison, we're building only one bathroom. And the zoning board, planning board asked me, if you have more than 15 students, you have to add the other bathroom. In the second condition, they mentioned me, if you have the square feet 1,500, more than 1,500 square feet, you have the another bathroom. So 2 requirements is made, so you have to add another bathroom. So we add the another bathroom, and we get the certificate of occupancy from the New Jersey Planning Board, Harrison Planning Board.
that's all well, but I want, for this building, right now, if you are approved, what is the bathroom situation? How many bathrooms
We
are,
have the more than 4 bathrooms here.
there are 4 bathrooms?
Yeah, more than 4 I says.
More than 4?
Yes.
All right, I just wanted to.
I'm sure, I'm positive.
There's 5, Mr. Sheldon.
They're, all right. I just wanted to make sure, because I was checking through for a school with 40 students and 6 staff members, according to the state regs, the boys would require, the boys would have to have a boys' room with at least 2 toilets and 2 sinks, or 1 toilet and 1 urinal. The girls would require a separate bathroom with 2 toilets and 2 sinks. If there's any kindergarten instruction, that sets up a whole new requirement, that every kindergarten classroom has to have its own self-contained toilet attached to that instructional room. And finally, teachers, for 6 teachers, even though it's just 6 teachers, they are required, by state law for a school, they have to have 2 separate unisex bathrooms. So if I'm doing the count correctly here, 1 boys' room, 1 girls' room, 2 rooms for the teachers, which is 4. And if there's going to be kindergarten instruction here, that necessitates additional bathroom facilities. So he's saying at least 4. I'd like to know exactly, is it exactly 4? Do they have 4.5? Is there a bucket in the back? What's
I think
going
the
on here?
engineer said there was 3 and 2.
I'm sorry?
I believe the engineer said there was 3 and 2, so
3
there's,
and 2, all right. Just want to make sure that all the bases
am I correct? Where is it?
I believe
Who's the
it's
architect?
4.
Mr. Crush.
I believe it's the 4 bathrooms.
4, so there's 2 and 2, or that's what he's asking?
We don't know what you're reading from, if that's a determination for
He's
public
just asking
schools.
what's there presently. What is there presently? 2 and 2? Is Is that the testimony?
We have the 4 bathrooms. This building, I believe it's 4 bathrooms, maybe more than 4, but I believe 4. And we don't have pre-K
The
or
architect
daycare.
answer that question, how many bathrooms for Mr. Sheldon?
We have 5 toilets and 5 lavatories.
Five.
Five toilets, are those
Not
5
bad,
separate
it's
rooms?
toilets. I'm not separate rooms.
No, yeah, they were separate.
Or not.
They're playing fast with the rules, 5 toilets, but not 5 rooms.
Right.
So, hey, this is a game changer here. They have to have at least 4 separate rooms.
That's based on what you're reading right now.
Title VI, pertains to all schools in New Jersey. I'll give you the exact citation, I have it on my phone, but I don't carry it with me. Under Title VI, just do a quick Google search, you'll see the statement. This is why, again, if all of this information had been provided 10 days before the hearing, I would have had a chance to do all of the research and had been prepared to give you all, at any
No,
given moment.
we got that already, so
Citations.
your next question would be,
So they're saying they have 5 toilets, but it may not actually be
right,
4 rooms or even 5. So what is it? How many bathrooms are there in that building?
This doesn't seem like that hard a question to answer. How many bathrooms are there?
4.
Hold on a minute. I want to hear it from somebody who's been sworn in his testimony. That's the architect.
There's a plan.
Just show us where the bathrooms are.
I like to see it myself, where are the bathrooms?
Let it be shown for the camera so everybody can see, and then I can have you come in after that.
You have 1 bathroom here, with 1 toilet, 2 urinals, and 1 lavatory. This is the second one. 2 toilets and 2 lavatories.
2 rooms, 2 bathrooms.
Then over here,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Over here.
Just put it on the easel.
then we have 2 more bathrooms here. Staying with the one. Each has 1 toilet and 1 lavatory. The other one has 1 toilet, lavatory, and a room. So basically there are 4 rooms, but 5 toilets, and 5 lavatories, and 3 units. Meanwhile, the requirement is only 2 toilets and 2 lavatories, and we have 5 and 5. So we are 3 over the requirements. It's right here.
Apartment under the state law, is 1 bathroom for boys, 1 bathroom for girls, and 2 unisex bathrooms for the teachers.
Right, so it applies.
4 rooms, 4 separate rooms. Which you obviously now have, now that I see that you have a couple in the back for the bar, and probably the several students. Previously, had been existing. Right, that's all I wanted to know, I just wanted to make sure we're all in agreement with the number of bathrooms there.
are there anyone else that has questions for?
The back in there.
No.
4 bathrooms. So you said you're a nonprofit, do you charge your students to come to your school? You do charge them to go to your school?
Yes, it is.
Okay, do you get any grants from the government, federal grants?
Little bit, not much.
A little bit. So you do get grants?
Little, not much.
Well, you say a little bit, I don't know what a little bit is. Okay, thank you.
Are there anyone else? I know that Mr. Del Garcia.
Oh, you asked me?
I was only
What
waiting
happened
for
in
him to
Minnesota?
go.
What happened in Minnesota?
Twice.
We need quiet
I'm
so we
sorry.
can have proper documentation of this hearing.
Yeah.
If you can't contain yourself, please exit.
Now, in Harrison, you said you have 29 students. How many classrooms do you have? 4 classrooms the same way?
Just the one hall, big hall, just I participate from the bookshelf, by the bookshelf.
Now, I've never seen, I went to Belleville school, I never went to this. My question is, you have students from what age group?
Kindergarten to 8th grade, 5 to 15.
5 to 15. So it goes to 9th grade or 8th grade?
Just I mentioned kindergarten to 8th grade.
Not 9. Okay, because I remember before you were saying 6, 7, 8, 9, I thought. Okay, now, in each classroom, how do you break this down?
6, 7, 8, 9.
No, I'm not talking about the amount of people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual grades.
Who joins them, you said? Who joins them?
Yes, you watch the class, just I mentioned.
So what you're saying is, you're teaching multiple ages, which will be multiple grades as the way we go to school. Math, are you teaching the math?
So just I mentioned, I teach Islamic studies, not the math, not English, not social studies, not science. We have the other teacher, they teach these academic classes.
Who teaches these academic classes?
Teachers.
At your school? At your school or online? How is this done?
We have both.
You have both.
Yes.
So now you have, all right, let me ask you a question. What percentage of the classroom is Islamic and what percentage is academic?
We have both.
No, but you said you did it separately, you said. You did say separately. You said you do the Islamic and you have other teachers that do the math, the English, the social studies, etc. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. How do they learn the academic part is my question.
In person.
Excuse me?
In person.
In person. Individually?
Class-wise.
Class-wise. So you have multiple grades being taught by one person for math, for English, and for social studies.
If you go back,
Yeah.
there is no concept of classroom. One hall, the students in, and still the Amish people, it's the one hall. The multiple class students are sitting in the same hall, the teacher teaches the multiple students at the one time.
Kindergarten teachers.
Yes.
Is this relevant to the application?
No, it's not. I'm not talking about kindergarten. I'm talking about, you're talking about, kindergarten is one grade. What I'm saying is you're talking about multiple grades in the same classroom.
No.
But I think what we're trying to establish is the curriculum is the trial, it's not a trial on curriculum. As
Yeah.
far as
I don't think it's relevant to the application, how he teaches the classroom.
And he already explained this before. He said it a few times.
Yes.
He runs a school in Harrison.
And he gave us an example of how he runs Harrison.
With 4 classrooms.
Any other questions? I'm going to close this portion. You have another witness?
Yes, we do.
I think, are you okay? We're gonna get to the traffic next.
We could do a 5-minute break.
Yeah? All right. I'm going to say we're going to take a 5-minute break. Everyone in favor?
If I could address the board, there was, obviously this confusion about the plans, so obviously this was most likely going to be reconvened based on providing these plans and possibly some tweaks to that, obviously to address some conditions on there. Regarding our traffic engineer, we had something sprung on us today from the police department. So we would also probably like some time to then talk to the police department regarding the initial email that was provided to us earlier before the meeting, and carry this to the next meeting to at least address that concern by the police department, rather than have the traffic engineer testify tonight, only to then have to change testimony if there's additional requirements by the police department that are going to be needed, so we don't double up on his testimony, or confuse the board by changing what could be said about the traffic patterns. So, with the board's permission, I think this makes sense to possibly carry it to the next meeting. Okay.
And before we do that, I just want the board to understand, I did speak to Mr. Bourne about this, and that he understands that our next meeting is actually our reorganization meeting. So there will be some preliminary things that we have to deal with that night. And if there are any new members, they would have to read the transcript in order to be able to vote. However, this application is a strict planning board application for which we don't necessarily need to have a full complement of every member able to vote. We just have to have enough votes to have a quorum and vote on it. So we'll see what happens, but I would encourage Corinne to get the transcript so in anticipation of the fact that we may have new members. And I would suggest, this does make a little bit of sense rather than the hours getting a little late anyway, and some of this testimony regarding pickup and drop-off may change because of the fact that the police department has some issues they want to work through with them. So it does seem to me, since they're coming back anyway, it may make some sense to stop now. Of course, that's up to the board's discretion, but certainly it makes some sense to me.
Are there any other testimony besides the traffic?
We just do the traffic.
We just do that. And of course, the plans that.
And the interior architecture.
I would go with that. Anybody have problems? No? All right.
So for the record, this matter will be adjourned to what date is it, Corinne? July 9th, 6:30, back here in this chambers. No further notice will be necessary, so you won't be getting a new certified letter coming to you, but it's announced here that that will be the meeting date this will be carried to. So we look forward to seeing you on July 9th.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry about that. We need a motion to adjourn. I thought we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second. I second.